r/AskReddit, who was the most unexpected guest you've ever had, and what was the occasion? A deer came in my house. I had left the doors open. Nice day. It was pretty docile. I fed it some apples which I used to lure it out. One time Santa Claus came to my house. It was Christmas. No occasion, but when I was like 15 I found a ball python on our porch. A free friend. Staying with my grandparents when I was little, they had a knock at the door and it was a stranger who looked really shaken up. He goes, "I'm so sorry, I just knocked one of your trees down with your car. Do you mind if I use your phone to call 999? My nana sat him down with some tea, the standard English response to anything bad happening. My granddad went out to survey the damage. Seemed like a nice guy. The police and ambulance showed up, and eventually a tow truck. He left with the tow truck. Granddad had plans to cut that tree down anyway, so he wasn't upset about it. Usually stays at my grandparents' house were much less dramatic. My 5-year-old son. I didn't even know I had him. My friend knocked because she was nearby and needed a POO. Guest arrived with 2 female ferrets. They were in heat. Did you know ferrets will stay in heat until they have sex? My grandparents showed up at my door and left a note unexpectedly. I wish I was home because I would have let them in and had coffee or dinner with them. That normally wouldn't be too weird, but they live over 100 miles away, so it is not all that common for them to come to my place. I was living in San Clemente, CA, in the 90s, and my dad flew out from Atlanta, GA. My mom had just passed away, and he came out of the blue. So many moons ago I had an old 1988 4Runner. Me and 2 other friends went driving up into the hills and got up into the snow and reached a point where we couldn't go any further, so I started backing up to find a place to turn around. There was a bit of a curve and wound up getting stuck in this curve. Snow was up to the axle. Didn't have a shovel or anything. We worked at digging out for a bit but didn't make any progress at actually getting it out. After a bit another vehicle came up the road and the guy got out and helped us for a bit. Didn't have a shovel either. He didn't want to bring his vehicle up close enough to tow mine for fear of getting it stuck. It was getting well into the late afternoon and we finally decided that it would be best if he just took us back and we'd be able to return to get it out with a proper setup. So the 3 of us piled into his back seat and we started back. There was a lady who was with him. She was not important to the story until this point. They were out on a drive together, sounded like they'd just recently been dating a little. So we're heading down the hill and chatting a little, and before long the conversation led to the discovery that she had been in my dad's class in high school. This was a private high school an hour away from where we lived on the opposite side of the metro area, so this was really random. Anyway, we get back to my house, which was my parents' house, and of course the revelation of who she is gets immediately shared with my dad. So we were all marveling at the chance encounter, obviously. I don't recall the specifics, but one thing led to another and her and this guy she was with wound up spending the entire evening at our house. My younger brother also had a bunch of friends over and my 2 friends stuck around and us kids watched a movie of some sort while my parents and his classmate and friend hung out in another room. They stayed till like 11 p.m. or something. Was a little weird that they didn't head out to go do something else. Never heard from or seen them again, mostly I think. I don't believe they wound up remaining a thing though. And yeah, my brother's best friend also liked going up in the hills with his similar 4Runner, and my parents also had a newer 4Runner, so we all geared up the next day and took 2 to 3 vehicles up and got my rig out with little trouble and spent the day messing around up there in the snow. 13 dwarves and a wizard. I was just chillin' at home. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you have enjoyed this video and subscribe to never miss an upload.